I was at the University of Lagos today, Unilag, and this is what I have to tell the students there. The elevation of women in society wasn't as a result of the feminism movement. That's a big lie, a huge one. The elevation of women in society was as a result, actually, of technological transformation, our improvement over time. Take, for example, in those days, women would have to stay home when they were on their period. Why? Because there was nothing to put down there. You would go out and you'd be embarrassed by your flow. But the pads came along, and tampons as well. Even the tampon, by the way, was invented by a man. Go and fact check. And as a result, women were able to go out. If the period wants to run for 14 days, no problem. They'll be able to go out and pursue their career and do whatever they want. If they were going to school, they could go to school. In those days, perhaps some women would spend like 20 hours a week washing clothes, depending on the size of the family. But what happened? The washing machine came along, which you would agree with me, if not entirely, was mostly invented by a man. I know the both genders, whatever success we're able to make, whatever progress we're able to make is credited to the both genders, because the man who was able to go to the office and invent the washing machine was able to go to the office because he most likely had a wife at home who would take care of the children and bathe the children and prepare food for him when he comes back and wash his clothes. Otherwise, he won't be able to have the time to go to the office and create a washing machine. But you get the point. And the washing machine came along, so women didn't have to spend that amount of time or even more washing clothes at home. What else happened? The contraceptives came along. So instead of suddenly becoming pregnant and being unable to pursue education or pursue career, 9 months to carry the pregnancy and perhaps 3 years or more to take care of the child, women could do whatever they like with their body because the contraceptive is there to always save them. In those days, women would have to go and fetch firewood. Men did, but I think it fell to women the most because they were the one going to use the firewood and they were the one always at home to cook. So they would have to go and fetch firewood, perhaps have to dry them or fan them to make them work. That would take a lot of time before they were able to prepare food. What happened? The Industrial Revolution came. The oils came along. We could cook at home with kerosene or maybe gas in developed worlds. And what happened? It gave women more time. They could do their cooking quicker and do other jobs, do industrial jobs, get into education and all that. Women were also saddled with the responsibility to make clothes for the family, at least for the children. The aprons, the diapers and all that, they were saddled with the responsibility to, or you might also say they are more inclined to make clothes for the family. Because a man we don't really have it in us to do such things. But the women, they enjoy doing it. But what happened? The machines came along and the making of clothes became industrialized. You could make clothes for a whole city in a day because of the Industrial Revolution. The machines, of course, were not to be gender biased, but they were invented by men as well. I'm just pointing out to this because of the men-hating feminists, so you know. All these put together, among others, are what elevated women's status in our society today, not the so-called feminism movement. Can't you see for yourself even? The feminism movement inevitably leads to the path of man-hating, institution-hating, even woman-hating. And you want to tell me that is the ethos, that's the ideology that revolutionized the lives of women? You are a liar. An ideology that is men hating centered, hates women as well. It hates women that decide to get married, decide to prioritize their family, decide to prioritize their husband, decide to give birth to children. Your feminism ideology hates it, and you want to tell me that it's that ideology that elevated women's societal status? You are a liar.